Good morning, Blue Jays. Thanks for tuning in for another PETV episode. It's episode 6 already. Hey, I hope you had fun this weekend. Something tells me you probably have a few more little treats laying around the house this weekend. We're going to do something a little different. I want you right now to go find your favorite bite-sized piece of candy. So go dig around and see what you come up with. And I came up with my little favorite one, Snickers. So go ahead and pause the video right now and go grab yourself one little treat for this activity. All right, the word of the week is calorie. Well, now, what the heck is a calorie? Here's a short little video to explain how we get energy from food. Check it out.
We hear about calories all the time. How many calories are in this cookie? How many are burned by 100 jumping jacks, or long-distance running, or fidgeting? But what is a calorie really? And how many of them do we actually need? Calories are a way of keeping track of the body's energy budget. A healthy balance occurs when we put in about as much energy as we lose. If we consistently put more energy into our bodies than we burn, the excess will gradually be stored as fat in our cells and will gain weight. If we burn off more energy than we replenish, we'll lose weight. So we have to be able to measure the energy we consume and use, and we do so with a unit called the calorie. 1 calorie, the kind we measure in food, everything we consume has a calorie count, a measure of how much energy the item stores in its chemical bonds. The average pizza slice has 272 calories. There are about 78 in a piece of bread, and an apple has about 52. That energy is released during digestion and stored in other molecules that can be broken down to provide energy when the body needs it. It's used in 3 ways. About 10% enables digestion, about 20% fuels physical activity, and the biggest chunk, around 70%, supports the basic functions of our organs and tissues. That third usage corresponds to your basal metabolic rate, a number of calories you would need to survive if you weren't eating or moving around. Add in some physical activity and digestion, and you arrive at the official guidelines for how many calories the average person requires each day, 2,000 for women and 2,500 for men. Those estimates are based on factors like average weight, physical activity, and muscle mass. So does that mean everyone should shoot for around 2,000 calories? Not necessarily. If you're doing an energy-guzzling activity, like cycling the Tour de France, your body could use up to 9,000 calories per day. Pregnancy requires slightly more calories than usual. And elderly people typically have a slower metabolic rate. Energy is burned more gradually, so less is needed. Here's something else you should know before you start counting calories. The calorie counts on nutrition labels measure how much energy the food contains. Not to mention the fact that some foods offer nutrients like protein and vitamins, while others provide far less nutritional value. Eating too many of those foods could leave you overweight and malnourished. And even with the exact same food, different people might not get the same number of calories. Variations in things like enzyme levels, gut bacteria, and even intestine length means that every individual's ability to extract energy from food is a little different. So a calorie is a useful energy measure, but to work out exactly how many of them each of us requires, we need to factor in things like exercise, food type, and our body's ability to process energy. Good luck finding all of that on a nutrition label.
What a great video that told us all about a calorie. So basically, a calorie is what is in food that gives us energy. And the more calories we take in, the more we have to use up. I kind of like to think of it like a fuel tank. You fill up your fuel tanks and then we use that energy and our fuel tanks get empty and, well, then I guess we get hungry and we fill our fuel tanks up. It's important to balance us using energy with our activity. All right, after all, these are the fun size. So we're gonna have some fun with these little guys. All right, I'm gonna give you a website on your Google Doc that I want you to click on. And you're gonna scroll down, and if you need your parents' help to do that, scroll down and find your treat and it's going to give you three numbers. One, how many calories are in this little guy, how many fat grams are also in this little guy, and how much sugar is in this little Snickers bar. Right here, Snickers, 80 calories, 4 grams of fat, and 8.5 grams of sugar. And I'll just round that up to 9, all right? Now write down your 3 numbers for the candy that you picked out. Let's use that in another website in a fun activity. All right, Blue Jays, our second website that we're going to visit is myfitnesspal.com, and that link is in your Google Doc. And it'll give you this screen here. And I'm going to type right here under the search field, jog. We're going to see how long we have to jog to equal one of these little treats. So I'm going to hit search. And in the search box below here, it gives us a bunch of jogging upstairs, jogging at 10 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. I'm just going to go jogging in place and click that. And then you'll notice right next to, right underneath my screen here, it asks how much I weigh. So you can go find a scale or just kind of guess. And I'm going to just type in my weight. And I'm going to guess how long. How long do you think? I'm going to try 10 minutes. Well, it says if I go for a jog in place, I will be able to burn 127 calories. So that's about 1.5 of these little candy bars. So I'm going to change my minutes to, I guess, 6.5 minutes. That's pretty close, 83 calories. So I'm going to set a timer on this beautiful day. I'm going to go for a jog for 6.5 minutes. And then I'm going to celebrate and eat my little treat. All right, Blue Jays. Now make sure you get your parents' permission and hopefully they'll join you. I've got a 6.5 minute timer set, and oh my goodness, what an incredible, beautiful fall day. You know, and I'm lucky enough to have the nature trail, so I can go out and do a little 6.5 minute jog. But wherever you go, you could do it in place in your room, but just set your timer. But I'm gonna go ahead and bang this out this morning before my first PE class. Oh, it feels so great. Crisp, cold air. Check out the leaves. 2 weeks, and you get to see what Mr. Webb's hair looks like when I jog and it bounces all over the place. Now, I'm not going to bore you with a 6.5 minute jog around the nature trail, but I hope you're going to get out and find out how much that little piece of candy was worth. And then you're going to enter that into our Google Docs at the end, and I'll check it out to see how long your jog or walk was. Woo! Well, through the magic of television, I just completed my 6.5 minute little jog. I feel amazing. The heart is pumping, flowing all the way through my body, and my lungs are going, my heart rate's up, and I'm back. And of course, the best part about this little activity today in PETV is I'm gonna jog right up here and celebrate with a little treat. So we found out today that there's about 80 calories in my little treat. And by using that website, one of these equals a 6.5 minute jog for Mr. Webb. Now, what are we gonna do with those other 2 numbers? Well, after I eat this real quick, I'm gonna do 4 push-ups for those 4 fat grams that were listed on the Snickers bar. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I rounded up all that sugar, those 9 grams of sugar. And that is gonna get me 9 burpees. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm adding a little jump for a little pizzazz. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. And that's it for PETV this week. Just thought you'd do a fun little connection to that candy and exercise. Remember, calories are fuel for our body. So the more fuel we put into our body, the more we've got to burn it off to stay active. 80 calories.